to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Happy New Year. Hey, this is The Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk. Even in 2016, they are still the leader. And we are brought to you by Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, as well as our good friends over at SIR at SIR-USA.com, where they just want to be able to provide you all the gear that you need when you go out on tour. Like our guest here, Adrian Terrazas Gonzales, is here with us today. He is an amazing flautist, saxophonist, and we also have Vania Zamora, who is a San Diego, actually Southern California booking manager, and she's going to be co-hosting with me today. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Florentino. How are you?
Good. Everyone's getting their coffee. It's been a long week, right? We all kind of had some partying over the
holidays.
New Year. Yes, yeah.
I got a long 2 weeks, man.
You're traveling all over the place, man. You got gigs tonight and everything, so it's going to be pretty crazy.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming out. We are here on The Changing Stage, and it's all about, the people who've been doing the business as well as the gear that powers that, and we just have a good time. I like to start off in this segment with kind of where your passion flows from, brother. We talked a bit about that. How'd you get started doing this crazy business, man?
Man. I'm trying to keep it short.
No, keep it short. Tell us this full story, man.
Yeah, I fell in love. My grandmother is a big danzón and classical music listener, so the public radio was always on. And I heard this suite in A minor. I'm just trying to be as specific as possible. A suite in A minor by T.R.A.M, and played on. It's for flute and strings. Yeah. And I fell in love with the flute. And I don't know how many times I asked my grandmother what instrument was that, and that I wanted that record. So she always, actually, I didn't know then.
How old were you at the time?
I was 10. I was 10. I was
and
about
you
to turn
classical.
Yeah.
High five on that, brother.
Yeah, man.
That's not very common.
No, it's not. But I guess because of my environment, everybody listened to
classical.
Or good music. I mean, is it decent? Yeah. I mean, good music, I guess. So anyway, I start saving money, and I used to go around the block to clean people's cars and blah blah. And so I bought my first flute. It was a Yamaha, a student model from a pawn shop, and then I started asking. I couldn't afford lessons, so I started asking friends who were already playing flute and oboe and things like that. So they taught me how to read music, how to do all that sizing and stuff.
You grew up in Mexico.
Yes, Chihuahua, Mexico.
Yeah. So
Chihuahua, Mexico.
I would imagine they may or may not have had school programs with music.
No, the public education has a music class. When it teaches you the fundamentals, like what's a treble clef, a bass clef, and so forth and so on. And you played the recorder and all, and that was about it. But it was not an orchestra band program, none of that. So you had to do all that stuff on your own if you're really into it,
Yeah.
And so I just got involved with a bunch of guys that then will listen to that stuff, and I taught him to. I asked him. I will follow him around and ask him like how to read music, how to theory, and so forth and so on. And I got a book. An old book, then teaches you the positions of the flute, and then I just got a bunch of records and start playing.
Yeah, the kids don't know about records today, man.
No.
You actually had to slow things down to figure out what the heck was that note that he's playing or stuff. You didn't have YouTube.
No,
that shows you every phase of the process of how to play something. So,
of course.
Especially classical, that's pretty amazing that you're with so young that you were so passionate, and I think that's kind of a testament to the power of music because it's such a driving force that there's an old saying you can take the boy out of music, but you can't take the music out of the boy, and I think that was pretty much kind of lit that fire for you there. And
right
now, did you think at that time this is what you want to do for a living, or did you think this was just kind of
definitely
fun?
definitely
Wow,
yeah
okay.
I know it. A year after a few years after being so involved in getting along with, getting together with people and playing duets or chamber stuff, and I will get, I really found myself, all of a sudden I was 14 and I was playing Tex-Mex weddings or cumbia weddings on the clarinet, and I never imagined myself playing clarinet, especially not cumbias when I was want to play all this serious music, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, with the quotation marks in the hands.
Oh, exactly, exactly. And then later on, playing cocktail gigs when I was 15, playing Misty or whatever, So my dad had to be there and wait for me, because I was not legally, had the right to be there, basically, especially now playing in a bar, in a hotel bar,
So all this still was all self-taught then at this particular point.
Yes.
Wow.
I was good at asking people. Yeah. And asking doesn't cost anything. and I know the guys will get okay, here's a homework, go, go, and they will teach me a little bit of harmony on the piano and then go as well, but that's about it, my formal education started in the University of Texas at El Paso, Texas, with Dr. Wilkinson and my saxophone and clarinet instructor, and Lisa Garner on flute. She was my sensei. Yeah.
That's incredible. So you did you go there on a scholarship, or how did you kind of make it over there to?
It began as a half scholarship, because then as a foreign student, unless you were an athlete, you will get a full scholarship. Otherwise, for academics, it will be kind of like they either pay for all your books or they pay for your tuition or you figure it out, And then halfway through it, they figured out that I was playing all these instruments proficiently, so they decided to give me a fuller scholarship. But I also studied sociology though at the same time. Okay. So I was doing flute and saxophone as a major and sociology, and then doing everything else as a minor.
Yeah. So what instruments do you play now at this point? You play flute and sax, and then you say clarinet. Are there any other woodwind instruments?
No. I'm primarily a flautist, and like I said, clarinets, bass clarinet, saxophones, all saxophones. And I just started getting into the iwi.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah. I got that thing not too long ago. It's been on the back of my head for years, and so finally I got one. And it's been an adventure.
Does it translate pretty well like a sax, or is it something that for you guys, what an iwi is? It's a Yamaha.
No, it's a Akai.
Akai. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Akai. I always get those. There's two of them there because Yamaha's one.
Yeah, Yamaha has a really good one as well, but it depends on what you're into.
But it's a wind controller.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and so you can connect it up to different types of sounds, and you're able to play everything on that.
Yeah, basically you use your computer. No, nowadays you use your computer as your interface, and then then from the computer you go out to whatever. You don't really need to bring your pedal board anymore unless that's the sound you want. Yeah. But because you have all those plugins.
Does it track that well though with the computer? That's pretty.
It's ways to do it. I use the Apogee and
that's pretty fast converter.
Yeah, exactly. So. And you can go direct. You can go. Yeah. There's ways to go, but the sounds and will not. They come from the you're dumping from the computer.
Yeah.
So you can go back and forward, and because now it's wireless. Back in the days, I think the 2000S or whatever the models, you had the wire, which was a little, I guess, easier to get analog and whatever. You can see Brecker doing all that stuff. with all the Moog controllers. He would throw that into Mooger-Fugger oscillators and so forth and so on. He was like really into that thing.
That's fun stuff. So you've got you do a lot of that. We're going to touch base on a lot of that. Kind of how you get your sound in the third segment. But you're in El Paso, man, and you're in this different country and everything. Are you still gigging as much, or are you just focusing on your studies?
I was. It was a little bit of both. It was. I guess it was hard. It was awkward at the beginning for both my peers, my mentors, and myself, because I started playing for the El Paso Wind Symphony as well as El Paso Opera Company.
Oh, okay.
So I was playing, with my mentors, and so. I was having drinks. I was having a drink after the gig with a guy that was about to give me an A or maybe an F. So so it was kind of like, wow, we're kind of So they had to like all the time be like, okay, it doesn't matter if we get drunk together. If you don't study, I'm gonna give you that F. So it was kind of like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got about 30 seconds left. I want to kind of give people a way to kind of find out about you. They can find out about you on Wikipedia, and that's ADRIAN. Last one.
Yeah, TERRAZAS. Hyphen Gonzales.
Gonzales.
Yeah.
So you can look him up over on Wikipedia, and then of course your website.
My website is adrianterrazas.com. That's a straight up. And then Facebook.
Yeah. So you'll find out. We're going to talk about a little bit about the groups that you've played with. Because you've played with some pretty, impactful projects here. This has been the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. We are here with Adrian Terrazas Gonzales Takeover, and with my co-host who'll be kicking in the next few seconds, Vania Zamora. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goli, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Oh, yeah, it's the second segment of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet talk radio, brought to you by Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. They just want you to play it loud over there, and we like to do that over here, too. So, as well as our good friends over at SIR at SIR-USA.com. They are the company that provides all the backline and all the front line, as well as corporate audio and lighting. And then I'd like to give a shout out to our folks at Balanced Breakfast, at the Balanced Breakfast, or BLNCDBRKFST.com, where it's a meetup group around the country. So if you get a chance and to want to connect up with some really great musicians, a lot of professionals, a lot of high-end folks as well, where you get to network and then learn about the business, check it out. Here in San Diego, Los Angeles, the Bay Area, over whether San Jose, Oakland, or San Francisco, Denver, Vania, where else were we? We're Nashville,
San Jose.
Yes, got San Jose, and then Toronto, and Boston, and Austin. So Oakland, yep, all those. Yeah, we had to go through the list, but anyway,
Canada. We had people from Canada.
Yes, Toronto. Yeah. That's it. So, we've been talking about we've been talking about how you kind of got started. Now let's kind of jump into your when things got really serious. What was your first heavy, like this is the real deal, I've kind of arrived kind of band?
I mean, that was in 2004. I was the musical director for the salsa orchestra of Omar Rodriguez Lopez's dad.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. El Doctor de la Salsa, Rodriguez Chéveres from Puerto Rico.
And if you don't know Omar's name, you probably know the group, the-mars-volta.
That's right, and that's how I got into the band. Yeah. I got called out to do the Francis and Mute album, and then after the recording session, it was kind of like a recording session / kind of interview,
audition interview.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah,
they knew how you play, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It was more like an interview because it was like, hey, man, do you like to drink a lot? And like, do you those things? You do a lot of drugs. So I'm like, okay, you're done. Okay, fine. You want to be in this band, and that's how I started.
Yeah.
And
well, that's when the band really started taking off.
Yeah, and they
were doing good, but
they had a previous album that Rick Rubin produced, and that was our first album. It was like self-produced, and after that, January of 2005, we were on the road.
Yeah. Paul, we need to have Rick Rubin on the show sometime because we keep getting his name, like all these. He produces all the artists that we kind of have in here. So.
Yeah. So nice, dude.
We had John Christ, one of our early guests, and Rick Rubin produced was Danzig's album, which I'm not the big Danzig fan, but John Christ is a good friend of mine. But anyway, just kind of like random thought. But that's cool. So, how was it? How was it at that particular point? You're coming off here. Here's this band. They had at the drive-in, and then they kind of morphed into Mars-Volta.
Well, it was that the de facto before. De facto was what kind of like brought into become the Mars-Volta. Yeah. So between at the drive-in and Mars-Volta was de facto because it was mostly of the Mars-Volta, the new Mars-Volta guys.
Yeah. So you're in this band, and this wasn't the normal style of music that you were playing. You're doing a lot of
course not.
Salsa. You're doing a lot of you've done classical and stuff like that. What was that? What was going through your mind, man, at that time?
Well, I was about to move to New York To start like really heavily pursuing classical music, and I was like practicing an insane amount of hours on the flute, and I had all these repertoires. So I was gonna go and do auditions everywhere, and then they told me about this, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot for a few years. Those few years became 9. Became 9 years because I end up signing as a part of the legal member of the band and blah blah, and it's like. Otherwise, but yeah, it was a completely foreign environment for me. I've done some fun gigs and rock gigs, but never when I had to go in front of 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, and you're more concerned about if your fly is down than okay, which part I'm playing or this and that. It's a whole different dynamic. And instead of thinking of the parts and this and that, you're thinking about millions of things.
Other things like, am I going to get hit by a light? It's
not so much that. It's just like if you're used to playing classical music. I mean, I play for as probably sometimes more people on a playing with the symphony, but it's not. You're just part of this huge ensemble, then there's the flute, there's this, but now you're like part of these 6 guys, then they're in front of you, and everybody's looking at what you do at all times, and like what pedal you hit. Well, I mean, I had literally kids like taking pictures of my pedal board while I was doing that. What
I know a kid that might do that. That would be Paul.
And or stuff like that, or what he's looking at, what we do, and whatever. So it's a complete different. It was a completely different environment for me, but it was just I always love to be in uncomfortable situations. That's always been my yes, exactly. It's always been my one of my main focus in mind. Always to put myself in uncomfortable situations. That's how you grow up.
Well, I think the transition, because Mars-Volta was a very technical band. They had a lot of different types of ways that they expressed music, because they weren't definitely your typical pop band with a 4/4 beat and the same kind of repetitive. Although they had some good pop tracks. I really like that one. I can never say it. It's Spanish. Elvia. You made it sound so simple. When you read it, it doesn't say. I love that track. But you guys got a chance to get a Grammy with the group.
Yes. We got some nominations, but then we finally got our first Grammy with the band in 2008. That was Wax Simulacra. That was for Bedlam and Goliath, and it's funny when things start like booming as a band, like everybody we were starting having issues, But but that's that's for me too. That's a completely different thing. But is
the nature of the business where everything starts to really kind of come together, and then all of a sudden it starts to implode. Even whether they be small bands locally, and I think Vania can kind of testament to that, or big bands like Mars-Volta.
Because we were all getting also older, and I was, instead of practicing our band songs or whatever, I was like immersing myself back and playing all this. I mean, writing all this chamber music or stuff from my jazz group or so forth and so on. And I just couldn't wait to go back home to play small gigs at the Blue Whale in Los Angeles or Little Tokyo or whatever. And
I want to blow off this 20,000 seater for that that 200 seater in LA. That makes sense though, because it's a little bit more intimate that way. It's great. We actually kept it fresh in the band. I'm not going to say that every show was different. Sometimes every night something might go wrong or whatever. So, but we try to keep it as fun as possible for everybody. So it was like not going to play the Guido again and the this again and the Elvia again, and so we were good at keeping our fans interested in like, what they didn't play the same set in this show than the one in San Francisco. Now they're in Kansas City and they play a completely different set. So we're trying to keep it in that manner. But it was definitely a pleasure.
that was definitely a very challenging and a great experience for me.
Now you've also played with a lot of other players. Like we talked about the Escobedo family. Peter Michael's a friend of mine, and you've played with that group, and that's kind of how we met with Mario, who's the trumpet player for that group.
Amazing drummer, amazing musician, man.
How'd you connect up with the family?
Actually, I got. I don't know if you know Nick Mancini, vibraphonist. He plays with Peter Escobedo Senior.
Yeah, Senior.
And in Chile, and they're a smaller group, the small jazz group with Cartaya and Peter Michael, and then so anyways, I got a call from him because I played with Nick a lot back in LA with his group, and then he told me, Edmund, you want to do this gig with Peter in Chile? Sure, man. Like, so send me the tracks and send me Peter Escobedo actually texted me like, hey, send me like this the set list we're doing. Okay, keys and everything. I'm like, this is awesome. Then
look at your set list on your phone. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So and then I start doing every now and then because I think it's his saxophone player has been for their smaller group. It's been Justo Almario. Justo, yeah. But when he's not doing that, he calls me, and then I did the big orchestra thing. That's where Mario plays, and that's where I met him, and that's how. And I'm meeting you eventually. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in this third segment, how we kind of connected up, because it's always random things that kind of happen in this world. It's kind of fun stuff. Right. We're going to actually go to a commercial break right now. This has been the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. And we are brought to you by Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, where they just want you to play it loud. Make sure you check them out, or if you're here in San Diego, go down to their National City store. We'll be right back in a few short minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. so we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID communications.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Yeah, it's the third segment of the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. Shout out to Jim and the folks over at SIR at SIR-USA.com, where they provide all the gear. And I'm assuming that you probably use SIR at some point, not with your saxes, but, you know, all the other gear, your touring gear, because they're the biggest. They've been around since the 70s. And, it's a blessing and honor to have them as our sponsor here. In fact, kind of talking about different communities all around, here is just, we met, so people know, we're on the advisory board for the curriculum of Mueller College here in town. I had to that's just such a long title, but we got together and we basically look at the scholastic curriculum for this college on recording arts and sciences. So, it's kind of funny. And then Mario Gonzales is, he heads that up for them, and that's kind of how we met. You knew Mario from the Peter Escovedo deal. So shout out to Mario. Hey, I need to get Mario on here. We need to kind of have a curriculum board, convene for the Changing Stage radio show.
There was some interesting cats in there, in that board. What was the other woodwind player? As another flute player, and that was in there.
Yeah, I was the only non-horn player that
yes,
day.
Yes, you were.
So, but it kind of draws me into community and how things work, and that's how me and Vania met over at the Balanced Breakfast group, and it's pretty powerful how many really good players. Because Mario played with Pete Escovedo, he's played with a lot of other Latin, pop or salsa bands. He's an amazing player. I was telling you about Jackie Bertone, who will be on the show again coming up next week, who is percussionist for everybody from the Beach Boys to Jay-Z. So in this area, we've got some tremendous talent. And I know, Vania, you work with some pretty good groups. You want to give a shout-out to a couple of the groups that you work with?
Yes, actually, the Blue Hallis and Wicked Tongues.
The boys from Wicked Tongues, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You're familiar with them.
They came by that one time. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They came to one of the Balanced Breakfast meetings.
Yeah. So, in this community, obviously networking's worked out really well for you.
Man, it takes. I don't know how to break it down. You can, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you have to be aggressive yet smart, and you have to always ask. I mean, you do not know everything, and it's people like as yourself that then has it way more down than you. So you always have to rely on people and actually ask, and actually it's like a learning experience with other musicians. But it's like,
even like when you're networking for your own project, which we're going to kind of talk about right now.
Right. How
did you meet your current crew? And let's give a shout out to all the guys that are in the band.
In Transient it's actually very cool. I'm blessed to have Artur Manukian, cello player. I don't have a bass player. He takes the hand
I'm a bass player, and I was like, really? That's a cello that's playing that? That's kind of awesome.
It's a cello. He plays electric bass as well, but cello is his main thing. He's on Peter Erskine. He's on all kinds of guys.
Yeah, these are the top players.
Yeah. He's out there, and then I have Justin Justified Thomas.
Yeah,
he's another amazing like up and coming. Like he's like one of the top vibraphonists right now in jazz. And then I have Chris Lawrence he just moved from Detroit finally, He's new in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area. An amazing trumpet player. You're going to hear him on that one track.
Yeah, because we'll be playing a track here in a minute, folks. So make sure you stay tuned.
And then a local guy actually. I have my drummer is San Diego, and Tim Fig Newton.
Okay.
And that guy is a beast, man. That guy is a beast.
And you guys are playing tonight.
Yes, we're playing tonight at the Mooryork in South Pasadena.
Okay.
At the Mooryork Gallery.
So you're all the way down here, and then you're going to go all the way back up.
Yes, indeed. But and then the T.R.A.M guys, the T.R.A.M guys are my other great crew is Tosin Abasi and Javier Reyes for Animals as Leaders.
Oh yeah, those guys are beasts.
Yeah, and then another beast on the drums, Eric Moore II. He plays for Societal Tendencies, and that's that's how we created that Lingua Franca album.
Let them know that Aaron Smith, the drummer for the Temptations for their most prolific years, the guy who played on Heard It Through the Grapevine, is a huge fan of that group. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
awesome,
Animals. Man. He's a huge fan. He's like, he was texting me, man, have you heard of this group? No, I hadn't heard of them at that point. But when Aaron says, hey, have you heard of this group? You go check it out. And they're beasts.
Yeah. The track, one of the tracks I just sent, it was, that's Javier and Tosin, Eric and myself. A lot of the, since it's not bass in that one. That's no bass. So I had something against bass players. But
thanks, man.
Yeah,
I still want the track I play. That's what I do.
No. It's not
Paul's with you that he can't stand bass players.
Yeah, it's not like that.
A bunch of drama queens.
Exactly. There's so much that I decided to put out with two guitar players instead of having a bass.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Now his head's going to get bigger.
No. But yeah, so I've been blessed. I've been blessed to play. To record in random people from Trevor Hall to Billy Ray Cyrus and
Billy.
And like to
Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart, man.
All that stuff, man. I have been blessed to like either write or do arrangements or record for albums from these guys and actually keep a good friendship with them.
So cue up this track. What are we going to be listening to right now?
Orsius is kind of it's one of Chris's tunes. It's a Chris Lawrence tune. And it's basically format what TRANSIENT is, which is a quartet, chordless quartet, which means it's no piano or anything chordal. It's just bass or cello in this case, and drums and two horns. And I guess it's his take of really what he likes to do, like very like hard bop-ish, like Coltrane, like late Coltrane style. But
we're going to start it off kind of in the middle because you don't get a chance to hear you play until like halfway through it.
Right.
But go ahead and kick it off, Paul. Ready? Woo! Dude, I can't even think that fast note-wise, man. That's pretty amazing. That is awesome, brother. It sounds great. And you're playing sax, obviously, in that one. Yeah. And I'm, give it up to your boy who plays cello, because I couldn't tell that was a cello.
Yeah, it's I think he plays. He plays I can't remember. Like he plays electric bass or one section because they redo everything, but it was an upright and as well as cello thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, obviously we only playing the snippet of the track. The track's like 10 minutes long, close to 10 minutes, right?
Right.
Which is pretty awesome. I like the fact that you can take, and it's got some really cool percussion. It starts off with some really cool percussion, and it moves into either cello or bass. I thought it was a bass, but and then of course you get into the bebop kind of stuff that you do in the middle, and then kind of ends that way. But now, is this the way that most of the tracks? So you're working on an album right now, right?
Yeah. We're trying to do like a self-titled album. This is going to be the first album with the transient format.
Yeah. And how can they find the group?
They can find it right now on my website. And like I said, it's Adrian Terrazas, ADRIAN Terrazas, TERRAZAS.com, and on Facebook.
Yeah.
Adrian Terrazas Gonzales, official, or El Régimen Music.
Yeah.
El Regime Music.
Yeah.
So it's tons of stuff over there.
Yeah.
There's also in iTunes, and but everything. Basically, I'm using those two things, and you can find the links on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
When's the album dropping?
March.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be pretty exciting for you here, and I'm glad we got a chance to play it first. You got a chance to. This is an exclusive right now.
Yeah.
Starting off the new year right here. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors again, Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. All those guys over there are just Calvin and the crew. They do a great job at getting all the players here in town, and they are actually an international company. They can provide all the gear. Best prices. They're very knowledgeable over there. And, of course, SIR at SIR-USA.com, where they're making it happen for all the touring musicians. But if you need, like, an amp, you need drums, you need a PA system, they've got it there. We've got our local chapter here in Pacific Beach. This has been the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Network. It's the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. And we'll be right back in a few short minutes with Adrian Terrazas Gonzales. Take over.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way. A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at which.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, which.com.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Yeah, it's the fourth segment of the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. Brought to you by Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, SIR at SIR-USA.com. And then, of course, I give a big shout-out to our folks at Balanced Breakfast at BLNCDBRKFST.com. So when you enter that URL in, just take out all the vowels and you'll be able to remember how that works. I have to use that in my head, though. It's always kind of spitting that out. But Balanced Breakfast is about networking. It's about community. It's about making a difference in the industry. And this segment is really kind of about that now because we've got some definite changes from back in the time when you were doing Mars-Volta in 2004 throughout until now. I think Vania had some really good questions for you.
I was wondering, as a musician and this ever-evolving industry, how do you feel it has affected you? Is it more challenging? Is it better for you bringing your music out?
It's okay. I'm not going to have to explain it because I'm not. We have so many tools nowadays, and you can take from and to make it so much easier. So yeah, as far as the web tools, the media, the social media environment, and so forth and so on, it's very easy and to put your stuff out. The only problem is that it's so much stuff, then you can be buried on, So you, like the whole. It's easier to get yourself heard, yet the challenge is to target the right people, the right people you want to get, instead of buying all these likes from any of the social networks, Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, Instagram, whichever your tool is. Some people really really works Facebook for them. Mm-hmm. Some people, for instance, like Lady Gaga, she really likes her template of then works for her is Twitter, and she has all these followers. And you'll disagree as well. She has all these followers on Facebook, yeah, but that's done by the management. It's not done by her. She doesn't actually go. And she's actually involved in tweeting herself and with a team, but that's her template, So you have to figure it out. What's the template for the type of stuff you're doing, or so forth and so on. I'm trying not to get away from too much for your question, but as far as that's for promotion purposes. Mm-hmm. Now for retribution or like actually making money, understand. You really it has to go. It's going back down to T.R.A.M, to actually making money on the road, and is like people really thank God is like really want that the live connection of hearing their artist, their favorite artist live. Even if it's in a small gallery or into a big venue, doesn't matter as long as they have that the live connection of the artist that has not been lost, like they say that it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's early mid 2000s when you were talking about. It was because of the type of music that was in, it was a lot of bands that could get away with just selling albums and putting all these singles and then doing a couple showcases and then not really touring,
Mm-hmm.
And Gorillaz was one of them, where they were not really toured, but they were.
Yeah, they were basically cartoons for the.
Exactly. They didn't have to. They were making all this. They were making really good money on plays on MySpace and all this stuff. So it didn't really need that live exposure. And for bands like us, like the-mars-volta, one of the bands I've been involved with. It goes down to, because of the nature of the music, is down to go play for the people, and then that's what they want to do. It's more of organic. We are involved in more. We are targeting more of an organic environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. I mean, the times I've been involved with pop tags, that's when I've been like hand in hand, looking at what they have to do to get things done, to the public, and I'm talking big.
Yeah. So, kind of piggybacking on that, one of the things that listeners like to find out is how do they get sponsored? Because you used to be with Selmer, now you're with Yamaha.
Right.
How's that environment? Are they still doing full instruments, or are you starting to see a percentage? Or, I mean, obviously you've got your credentials probably lend for, hey, here's our new saxophone, try it out.
Yeah, it's okay. For woodwind players, and it works very much different than from a guitar players.
Yeah,
I don't get my my signature saxophone or my signature flute. We don't get that.
Yeah.
With that's not even Sonny Rollins gets his Sonny Rollins.
Yeah.
A model.
Yeah.
No, it is not. It's a handcrafted thing, It's all these different models that will guide you through the type of player you are,
mm-hmm.
and you will use that, but it's not such thing as this is the so and so model from so and so,
Yeah.
And like I said, not even the masters. Like I say, Sonny Rollins or Hubert Laws or Wynton Marsalis will get a trumpet or a saxophone with their signature. I mean, you can get the signature in, but it doesn't mean that's your model.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not like it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the name models, but it's kind of interesting that that's the case. So I think it's because with guitars, people get drawn to a certain type of sound or a certain type of tone,
right?
So they want to kind of emulate that.
Mm-hmm.
With horns, pretty much each one of them has a quality to it, but I don't know if it's a sound. But you kind of create your own sounds with adding effects. How does what's some of the gear that you use to get those unique sounds? We talked about the iwi from Akai.
Yeah, but that's a more recent thing. I was pretty much pushed into using effects when I joined the band. We put all these effects into your horn, so we gotta. Have you ever used effects? And the more effects I used, I thought it was a super shifter, so I can get harmonies or an octave. That was my sense of So, anyways, I had to do a research, and I built a pedal board. I started calling all these guys, and they were actually. Involved with using special effects on trombones or trumpets or whatever, and then tell me, well, use this, use that. For the saxophone, to get from the mic from the RE20 to the pedal board, I will have to go through a bass amp because it will be the most natural sound for the saxophone, and then from there.
So you use a bass amp?
Yes.
But you don't use a bass player, man?
No, I do. I totally use bass players all the time.
I'm teasing.
And And then, okay, so I had to learn the whole logistics that then you guitar players, or keyboard players, are so used to, like where to place the wah, where to place that, and so it doesn't affect the rest. And
a saxophone or a flute with wah, dude, that would be awesome.
Awesome.
A funky wah flute, that'd be oh man.
I just faced her, and that thing is pretty cool.
Well, hey man, that sound tells us we're out of time for today, man. Thank you very much, Adrian, Vania, for coming out.
Thank you so much, guys.
This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. And thank you, SIR, pitbullaudio.com, and of course, Balanced Breakfast. We'll be back next week with a new show.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Progressive Medical.
Hey, this is Heidi Rue, and Progressive Medical Center has literally changed my life and my health, but I'm not the only one. Adele suffered from bone deterioration, bone overgrowth, profound muscle discomfort, physical exhaustion, and mental fog. In fact, the bone deterioration becomes so serious that she had to have back surgery. Well, after the surgery, she still didn't feel well, and so that's when she heard about Progressive Medical Center. Progressive Medical Center discovered that her adrenals weren't working properly, her hormones were out of whack, and the drugs she had been taking were doing more harm than good. Adele came into Progressive Medical Center in a walker, physically and mentally exhausted. But now she's a world traveler. She hikes and walks several miles a day, and it's all thanks to Progressive Medical Center. 770-676-6000. 770-676-6000.
Progressive Medical. This is your life. Live it well.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.